Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Filmmaking Sucks, the podcast.
Oh, I gotta remember how to do this again.
Good enough.
Okay, Filmmaking Sucks, where we tell you about all the mistakes you can make while producing a film and explain how you can avoid them yourselves.
Wow, you actually still have the original.
I have the original, yeah.
How did you pull that? Wow, I don't even know where that is in my messages anymore.
You can search your messages now.
I'm sure I can, but wow. I'm your host, Manny.
And I'm Lindsay.
And this is off to a great start so far.
Sorry, guys, we're a bit rusty. I hope you're still listening. I hope you're still following.
Yeah. We missed most of October and November because, damn, we've been everywhere. We've been all over the place.
Yeah.
This should be the first episode back. Pretty sure it's going to be. It might be the second episode back.
You never know what's going to happen.
You never know. Yeah, we're just gonna. Usually we record week to week, but as we've seen, we get pretty backed up pretty fast. So so we're gonna try and do shorter episodes so that we can do more episodes.
Exactly.
Rather than covering huge topics in an hour and a half, I'm going to try to cover a more specific topic in half hour to 45 minutes or so.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. I mean, that was the goal when we first started. When we first started, the goal was...
I think that's part of our mission statement.
30-minute episodes. And
that didn't work out.
We went off the rails on that real fast. So we're going to try to get back to doing that because obviously... Because again, this... Doing a 2-hour show every week. Well, we record 2 hours. And we record 90 minutes or so.
Yeah.
90 minutes to 2 hours. Doing that every week becomes daunting. Yeah. It's a task.
Yeah.
It's a task coming up.
It's work.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest, I got a little tired of it because it was so long. Because we did so much, so much research and things went into it. I just got tired of it.
I get a little research heavy. I apologize.
Yeah. And that's fine. So we're going to try and cover more specific topics. Mm-hmm. And
we're going to share some lessons that we've learned along the way.
Yeah.
Because that's what essentially this is. This is learning for you guys, learning for us, and us sharing.
Yeah, we've learned a lot this year. We've done a lot of learning this year.
Yeah, we have.
If we count the monthly screenings that we've gone to.
Yes.
Because we've gone to the monthly ones at Near's Tavern. Mm-hmm. We've done 9 of those this year.
Yep.
8 or 9 of those. Plus 12 film festivals that we've been to.
Wow.
Yes.
So that's 1.5?
That's 21 or so. 21 different film festival events. Film festival style events we've been to this year. And we have at least 2 more. Technically 3 because of the flea market.
Yeah.
Which is not really a film event, but all of our film people will be there. And that's going to be it's going to end up being a powwow for Macabre Fair.
Yeah, it is.
Which is in January. So we have the Krampus Festival this Friday.
In Asbury.
As of this recording,
Yeah.
Friday, December 1st in Asbury Park, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Where our short Grub Krampus will be screening.
And it's very interesting. They actually reached out to us. They found us on Vimeo and asked for the film, which is very, very awesome feeling.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how they found it too, like randomly. Like, wow, I don't think we screened that like maybe 2 or 3 times in total since we made it. What, 3 years ago, 4 years ago?
3 or 4, yeah.
You know, that one was kind of a sleeper. Yeah. We didn't do much with that.
No,
it was a 48-hour.
It was very specific. It's kind of like when you have a Powerpuff line in there. It's like,
yeah,
I wouldn't have chosen to wrote that line.
Yeah, so we have that December 1st. We'll be there. We'll be at that festival. Mm-hmm. So that's December 1st in Asbury Park. The Krampus Asbury Park Festival. Is the thing. It's a Friday and Saturday thing. It's a big Krampus.
They have a big parade.
Yeah,
where
on Saturday. The parade in the marketplace on Saturday and everything. And
yeah, so we may or may not go to that depending on how we're feeling.
Yeah. So we have that coming up. Then we have the possible final screening for Theta States, which is the next Wednesday, December 6th, right?
Yes.
Yes, December 6th at 8:30 p.m. in
Teaneck,
New Jersey, and this one's in a movie theater. So
that's really cool.
That's really cool. We have our final Theta screening in a movie theater. That's nice.
Yeah, spending lots of times in movie theaters. It's kinda cool.
Yeah. So we'll be there the 6th, and I'll be there on the 7th.
I will not.
Unfortunately, you have to work.
I have a job.
Yeah.
Day job blues.
This is my
hashtag.
job, I guess. I just wish it would pay me. But, okay, so we have Theta States there.
Yeah.
Then that weekend, that's Wednesday and Thursday.
Yes.
Then that weekend is the haunted flea market in, I wanted to say Ronkonkoma, but it's not Ronkonkoma. Old Bethpage.
Old Bethpage Village, yes.
Yes, the Old Bethpage Village in Long Island. And we're there. That's the 6th, 7th, 8th, the 9th and the 10th, Saturday and Sunday. We're going to be there. You'll be making a Krampus.
I'll be making a Krampus.
We'll be running a table. We'll be there with a bunch of our friends who also have. So if you're in Long Island, come on out to that. That's a cool last minute, I guess.
They have a lot of do-it-yourself
shipping. Yeah, Christmas
homemade,
shopping.
Handmade items. I think Horror Show Jack will be there. He makes
Show
fangs. So if you know anybody, if you want fangs,
makes fangs and sells bloody teddy bears.
And bloody teddy bears. So who doesn't want that for Christmas, really?
Yeah. So we'll be there that whole weekend. So, and then we have Macabre Fair coming up in January.
Yep. And Martin Luther King weekend.
Yeah,
second weekend, I believe. I don't know.
Yeah, I believe it's the second weekend of January.
Oh, God, the pressure.
And Beneath will be screening there.
Yes, it will.
Beneath, which has been doing very well.
Yes, it has been.
We've just premiered that at New York Shorts.
Yes. And the big news of that is we walked away with Best Horror Short.
Yes, you did. Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
You won Best Horror Short.
I'm officially an award-winning filmmaker now.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then we had Beneath screened at the Axe Wound Film Festival,
Which was incredible.
in Brattleboro, Vermont.
Okay, I'm going to talk to the ladies for a minute. Ladies, if you have a film that has the slightest, littlest bit of horror, send it to Axe Wound because it's completely worth it. It is an amazing weekend. I've read the reviews. I've heard from a ton of people how incredible the film festival is. Does not describe.
No.
Does not describe it. It's an amazing weekend. I've met so many incredible women, strong women, smart women who love horror. Just an incredible. I really have no other word besides incredible, awesome, mind-blowing, life-altering. If I could be in love with a film festival,
this would be the one.
This is the one.
This is the one.
This is the one.
Leave me for them for
I
the
might.
film festival.
I might.
Thanks.
I did get a swag bag, so come on now.
Yes, you did get a swag bag. Yes, you did.
But yeah, absolutely incredible. And so many great films. Entropia was one amazing one. Not for the squeamish, but completely worth seeing it. Bride of Frankie was adorable and amazing, but I love everything Frankenstein. God, I can't even. Mare from Nicole at 4 Mile Circus.
Yeah.
Another really cool one. Very similar. Has the same creature as Theta States, which was cool.
Unfortunately, I missed it because I had to run out to feed the meter of all the moments. It played right after Beneath, so I waited for Beneath and got to the meter with a minute to spare. And as we had been there for the weekend. We had been there. We had gotten pulled over the first night. They see those New York plates in Vermont, and they just get them.
Get them.
They just descend on us.
It's midnight in Vermont. What are you doing here, New Yorker?
Yeah, so I didn't want to take any chances. So unfortunately, I missed Mare. But
it was really good.
Okay, I'll take your word.
The devastating one that you also missed, Cowboys and Indians.
Oh yeah, I missed that one too.
That's a brutal one. Beautifully brutal.
Another one. I was feeding the meter.
Yeah. Stupid meters.
I missed all of 3 films in the whole weekend, so I think that's pretty of the whole 2 days. I think I missed 3 films, so I think we're okay there.
Yeah, but Axe Wound is one of my new favorite film festivals. I know I shouldn't say that, but
why not? You liked it? I liked it. Yeah, that's run by Hannah Neurotica, who's awesome too.
She's incredible.
Yeah, that was really cool. It was really cool being in a nice a festival of creative and strong poignant and women who have something to say. Yeah. You know, films that are not just horror films, but they actually have
purpose,
like social significance and commentary to them, which was really good to see people who are making horror films more than just for the fun of it. Like, they love horror films, but they want to make films with the message. You know,
well, I think
they have something they want to say.
It touches us, I think, because, you know, when we actually started making movies, we were under another name. Mm-hmm. We went under Sedition Inc. Films. And we're very about political horror when we first started. We wanted to do horror with a political message behind it. Mm-hmm. But then we just decided just to go for a more traditional horror. Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of lost the political message.
I think you kind of get burned out if that's really what you want to like only focus on.
Yeah, it becomes difficult to keep.
And it feels tired and it feels forced.
I got tired of being so angry.
Yeah, that too.
That's what it was. I really got tired of being angry all the time, and it's like a lot of that political, a lot of the political and social message comes from anger or unrest or, you know, something that you want to change in the world. And I just like. Me personally, mm-hmm. I just felt like
it was eating you up inside.
It was. It really was.
Yeah. When you breed a lot of anger and negativity, I find that negativity finds you.
Yeah. No, totally.
And when you open yourself up to be more positive, positivity finds you. Good things find you. Yeah. Good people find you.
Yeah. So, nothing wrong with having a political message.
Not at all.
Nothing wrong with it.
Nothing.
You know? Just wasn't for me. Wasn't for me. You have messages in your films.
I do.
You have message, but you generally make a film when you have something to say.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you prefer.
Yeah, I usually, like I said, all weekend I would gestate for about 3 years, and then I finally put pen to paper.
Yeah.
And get it done.
So.
But yeah.
So that was fun.
It was awesome.
That was a good fun weekend. We had lots of events. So as we were saying, we learned a lot this year.
Yes.
We've been to a lot of panels, a lot of festivals, met a lot of other filmmakers, talked to a lot of people, mm-hmm. and getting a lot of perspective on not just filmmaking in general, but on why people make films and how they make films.
Yep.
How they get their films made is a big part of a big thing that we've learned this year. That, as I've said plenty of times to other people, that there is no right or wrong way. It's only your way. Yeah. And that's all that matters, is your way of getting it done.
And a lot of times it's circumstance. It's luck. I hate to say luck, but just being in the right place at the right time with the right energy and the right project.
Yeah, yeah. It's just one of those where sometimes a film has to, you could struggle and fight to get it, to push and push and push to get it done, and it just doesn't seem to happen. Maybe it's not the right time for you to do that movie. Yeah. You know, sometimes it
seems a little crazy, but films are living things. Yeah. And it sounds super crazy, and just stick with me, guys. A film is a living thing. A film is all the energy and the time that you and your crew put into it, and it really does manifest. And films do have a right or wrong time. Yeah. Sometimes a film is trying to tell you that you don't have all the right ingredients. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When we first started, right before Theta States, I was hell-bent on making a cult film. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean like a cult following film. I mean like a movie about some type of cult.
Yeah, you are.
And the Theta State, the idea for Theta hit me. And during my first draft, my first day of writing, I remember, as I've said a couple of times, I wrote it in 3 days. Mm-hmm. The first day of writing, I got about 35 pages of it done.
That's a lot.
But in that 35 pages, the idea for the cult was bleeding into it. Mm-hmm. And it was very different in that, you know. But as I was writing it, after that first day, I sat on it and I left it for about 2 or 3 months that first day. Then I went back to it after about 2 months. I think I started it in February or March or so, and then I got back to it in May or early June.
Sounds about right.
I think I came back to it, and I reread it, and the cult thing was just too big. Like, it was too big. It wasn't. So I took the whole cult idea out of it. You know, it was very much in that Stir of Echoes, the scenes in Stir of Echoes where Kevin Bacon's wife finds that group of people who are suffering from the same thing he is, and you know, and they have like and I was kind of going in that route with it, and it was just too big. It was just too. I was like, it was going in a whole different direction. There wasn't enough story. There was too many characters, not enough story. So I cut all that out, and I decided to focus on the main character. And then the rest of Theta States came out. Now I'm still dying to do a cult idea, but it just wasn't the right time.
Yeah.
You know, we're kind of going a little off the rails right now as well. But the whole point is knowing when to make your own, knowing when is the right time to make that movie you have the idea for. You know, you may have one idea and you may really, but it's just not coming together.
Yeah.
You know, maybe try something different, something smaller, you know, and
I mean, it's all about holding on to the concept that you came up with, and really, really knowing your concept, knowing if the concept is right for this time, or where your mindset is, where you are creatively, where you are financially.
Yeah. Are you trying to force the idea out is what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you trying to force this idea because you're just in love with doing something like this? And in the process of forcing out this idea, are you blocking yourself from other ideas?
Right.
You know, Louis does that. Louis did this a couple of times. He was really wanted to do a siege film. He's always wanted to do
he has.
a siege movie. And I can't tell you how many ideas he's had that
He throws a siege in.
the siege comes, you know, it just seeps back in there because he really wants to do one. And it's like, well, maybe you just don't have the right concept for it yet. You're trying to take all the other ideas you have and trying to turn it into a siege movie. And it's like, but they're not right for it. Yeah. Like, you need one that's going to start. The concept begins as a siege film.
Yeah.
You know, and anybody who doesn't know what, if you don't know what a siege film is, Assault on Precinct 13 is a siege movie, you know, where you have a bunch of, some group of people trying to get into a home, you know, like Night of the Living Dead is technically a siege movie. A bunch of people are
trapped
holed up in
yeah.
one house trying to keep the invading force out.
Yep.
That's a siege film.
Okay.
And he's always wanted to do something like that. So he went through 3 or 4 different scripts. He still hasn't done one yet, but he will. You know, I think he finally realized, like, all right, stop trying to force it and just it'll come to him naturally one day, you know. And okay, so now what we're trying to lead into is when we were at New York Shorts, we sat down. We were there for a panel, which was run by
Rob Margolies.
Rob Margolies.
Yes.
Yeah. Rob Margolies. What was his film? I don't remember the name of his film. He did a panel.
She Wants Me is his second film that he was mostly discussing during this lecture.
Okay. And he was discussing how to get your feature film made.
Yep.
And I think that a big part of how to get your film made is whether or not it's the right time to make that film. And a lot of the advice he had on this panel really goes in line with that. Like whether or not the concept is complete in your head.
Yeah. His big theory, and I wrote this down because it's fantastic. How you make a successful feature, a feature that sells well. You have the right concept in the right genre, with the right producer and the right actor in the right role, with an economic budget, shot on a tight schedule with a limited crew.
Okay.
That is his formula to success.
Okay. One more time.
Have the right concept.
So the right concept.
In the right genre, with the right producer and the right actor in the right role, with an economic budget, shot on a tight schedule with a limited crew.
So that's his combination lock.
That's his combination lock.
Okay. And I think that that's what lends to what we're saying here. That it has to be the right
concept.
Yeah. Concept is where it begins.
Yeah.
So you need the right concept, and you can't
in the right genre.
In the right genre.
Which is kind of what we were talking about with the siege not being right for the particular story you're trying to tell.
Exactly. And genre is more than just horror and sci-fi. Well, yeah, I don't know. See, I argue that sci-fi is not a genre. It's a setting.
Yeah.
Because you can have a million types of sci-fi films, but it's not a genre in and of itself. It is a setting of a genre. You can have sci-fi horror, sci-fi comedy, sci-fi drama. Flatliners is a sci-fi. Theta States is a sci-fi. Videodrome is a sci-fi. Mr. Robot is a sci-fi.
Right. So definitely know your genres.
Yes.
Know the story you're trying to tell. I think we covered that in a previous episode. The film festivals of knowing your film. So back to Rob.
Yeah.
Rob raised $150,000 for his first feature film.
And how did he do that? What was his main?
It was private investors.
Okay. So he went around and pitched to people?
Yep.
Okay.
And he finds that, like most people, when you're raising funds, you have to, you get momentum. Mm-hmm. And the more momentum.
Now, quick question.
Yeah.
When he pitched to people, is this like, because I honestly don't remember what he said. Was he pitching to like film producers or just people he knew that had
just
money?
People he knew for the first one. Just people he knew
for his first film.
Film. Yeah.
Well, this one specifically was. You said this is for his second film.
This one was more people in the industry.
Okay.
So what happened with his first one? His first
movies.
one, which is what I said. A film can sometimes just be in the right place at the right time in front of the right person. He did a film festival in Wine Country, California, Sonoma Valley. Yep.
Okay.
And there just happened to be a billionaire in the audience. He was intended to be of this film festival, just happened to be there.
Yeah.
He liked it so much, he bought the film outright.
Okay.
Which means that all of the money his first investors gave him, he was able to pay them back.
Yeah.
And because they got the money back when they weren't expecting it, they rolled it into the second feature.
Okay. So he had something to start off with.
Yeah. So he had a really good starting point.
Okay.
Then he was able to do kind of what we talked about with development funds.
So I was going to ask that. Yeah. So for instance, let's say he made his first movie for $10,000.
Yeah.
And this guy bought it outright for $10,000. He paid all his investors back.
Yep.
Then, okay, I have a second movie. Well, you just gave us our money back that we thought was lost.
Yep.
Here's that $10,000 right back.
Yep.
Go make another one. And he used that as...
development funds.
So to start off.
Yeah. So he got himself a casting agent, just like we've talked about. And he was able to get some name actors.
Okay.
I don't remember who they were.
Now this is for the second movie.
For the second.
Okay.
Yeah, which is She Wants Me. I don't think it's out yet, I believe, if I remember properly. But because of the development funds that he had and the really good nest egg, because he already had skin in the game.
Sounds like it was more than $10,000, but whatever.
It was 150.
Okay. No, for the first movie.
150.
Oh, okay.
He raised 150 for his first one. He paid off $150,000 back. So he had 150,000 starting point.
Gotcha.
By getting name actors into, well, not name actors, not A-listers, but like solid actors onto the film, sign onto the film. He was able to raise another. His final budget was $400,000.
Okay, so he raised another $250,000.
Yep.
So he started with the initial 150.
Yep.
Used that to develop.
Yep.
And then raised another 250.
Yep.
On top of that.
Yep.
For the second movie. All right. Okay.
So that's just sort of a look into how his films were made. So
that's how his films got started.
That's how his films got started. He's a working director now. So he does have projects that he's been brought on as a director.
All right.
These are just, I believe, his 2 films that he's worked on himself that are his own.
Okay.
So that's a little bit about him. I'm sure you can find him on.
I'm sure. Yeah, Rob Margolies. I'm sure. I'm sure you can find him. Even before we did the panel, before we watched the panel, I recognized his name. Yeah. Like I didn't know what he made, but I recognized the name.
Yeah.
So
here's some of the advice that he gave out on his panel. Number 1, which is what we kind of have touched on already, is have a good concept. This starts with the log line. Be able to sell your movie in 1 sentence.
Yeah.
It's essential for pitching.
Yeah.
You only have about 30 seconds of somebody's attention. And if you can grab it with a really great log line, people are going to want to, it's going to get them engaged.
Okay, I want to see this. Yeah.
Yeah. Some of his advice was attracting actors. The the better the actor, the better the film, sort of.
And and how do you attract those actors?
And how do you attract those actors?
I'm asking.
Okay, his two bits of advice were one, if you're making a character study story, something that focuses on the character has a very solid arc that really lets the actor kind of play a wide range of emotion. That's very appealing towards actors because they feel like it'll help them shine.
He had an example. I forget what it was, but like Daniel Day-Lewis playing Lincoln.
Yeah.
You know, like that's something. Now, besides the fact that it's Lincoln.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. He talked about, you know, if you could make a film about Gandhi, if you could make a film about
yes, exactly. He had those examples. That's what I couldn't remember.
Yeah, if you want to make a film about Gandhi, if you want to make a film about somebody who changed the world, a well-known figure.
And the struggles they go through.
And the struggles they go through.
So you're going to have their triumph. You're going to have their sadness. You're going to have their loss.
Their breaking point.
Yes. Yeah. You're going to have all of that. And that's a range.
Yeah.
Every actor wants to do. They want to get their teeth into something that's going to show everything they can do in one movie.
Yep. So that's one way. Another thing which is more relevant to us, creature stories. Okay. There are actors out there who want to play monsters, who want to play creatures, who think it's very interesting. These are the type of actors who like body movement, who have studied very body movement, very physical actors. They are going to be extremely intrigued on playing a monster, playing a creature. So those are two that was good news for us in the audience.
With a creature, yeah.
Yeah.
I know we know a couple actors who like doing that stuff. And that's also prevalent. Is that the word? I don't know. It's popular now because cosplay is a thing. Yeah,
cosplay is a huge thing.
A lot of actors do enjoy cosplay's become a thing now.
Yeah,
you know. So if you have a costume for somebody to wear,
I mean, even Marcos, we talked him into doing the Ripper for Blood Slaughter because he's a cosplayer.
Yeah.
So he was comfortable in a mask. He was comfortable in a costume.
He knew how to move with the limited eyesight. Yeah. He already knew.
Yeah, and he had taken martial arts, so he was really good about blocking things and being able to handle people safely.
Yeah.
So those are a really great resource.
Yeah. So if you're making a low budget movie, you're making a no budget movie, and you have a friend that likes cosplay, consider making them your creature or your killer, something in a mask. Yeah. Something where they have to wear this getup, because the truth is,
it's uncomfortable, honestly.
It's very uncomfortable. I can't stand it. No. I hate, even when we do Halloween, when we used to go out for Halloween and I'd wear a costume, if anything that was on my face just drove me insane. I'd get about an hour and that's it. Take it off. I'm done. I didn't wear a mask. I couldn't stand a mask.
But it's a lot of fun too. I've played a creature a couple times. For us, I played Death. I played Sasquatch, which was super fun.
Yeah, but those were like
real quick little things. I wasn't in it all time, but I mean, working in the haunted house, I would often be in makeup for like 8 hours, so I can understand how difficult and annoying it can be.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But it is a lot of fun to play a monster.
Yeah, but
one time I played a CDC agent and I was like in full painter. That was a lot of fun. I had a Geiger counter.
Yeah, find one of your cosplay friends.
Yeah, somebody who's really,
wear costumes.
Even your friend. Like if this is your first feature, find your friend who goes crazy from their Halloween costumes and get them involved.
Yeah, you got to realize that they're going to probably be in this costume for anywhere from 6, 8, 10 hours at a time. So you need somebody who's totally cool doing it.
Yeah,
you know, a couple of our friends who do cosplay. Yeah, I don't know how they sweat and die in that costume, but they're totally fine doing it because they just love it. Me, again, an hour and I'm done.
Yeah.
So somebody who can wear a costume, who can go to a Comic-Con for 3 days and wear an annoying costume.
Oh God, if they change their costume every day, that's the type of person that you want.
Exactly. This is the person you want to play your creature. So.
Yeah. Other examples of working with actors. You know, he worked with bigger actors on his second film. So sorry, I got distracted. So he said for your first feature film, of course, don't bother with any actors in the big agencies. If they're in
the William Morris agency, don't bother with them. Now here's the thing. If you're going to have, now we're also talking about people with a little bit of a budget here.
Yeah.
$400,000 sounds like a freaking gold mine to us. And it sounds like a gold mine to most of the people probably listening to the show. $400,000 for a feature.
Let's do this.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
But the truth is, it's really nothing.
No, when you start working with larger names and you're paying everybody on your crew a wage, a daily rate.
Yeah.
You have insurance. You have all the particulars that you need. If you start getting into SAG actors, it's a whole different ballgame, and that money goes away quick.
I mean, we know people who've done 15, 20-minute short films that have ranged in budget anywhere from ours, we did Brain People for $2,000, and it's a 54-minute movie.
Yeah.
Okay. We did Mastectomy was also $1,200, and it's an 8-minute movie.
Yep.
But we know people who've done 30-minute shorts for $20,000.
Yeah, we do.
Other people who've done 30-minute shorts for $100,000.
Yeah.
So
it's very much the crew that you're working with, the cast that you're working with, and the scale of the idea that you're trying to convey.
Yeah.
It all depends.
But this is what I say with the actors, specifically toward the actors. You're talking about getting a casting agent, and that casting agent is going to know who to not. Don't bother. Don't waste your time, because even if they are interested in the script, it's going to shoot your budget through the roof.
Yeah.
And
when you're talking about a casting agent, you're also talking about a lawyer who's gonna deal with contracts.
Yeah.
You're also talking about an accountant.
Yep.
Who's going to handle all of the behind the scenes complicated financials that we're just not qualified to do.
Yeah, you're talking $10,000 to pay these people for the course of your film.
Yeah, each
right
one
there.
for retainer.
Yeah, so we're talking about a little bit more of a budget here.
Yeah.
People who have a little bit more. So.
But I mean, so he said, instead of focusing on anybody who's in one of these larger agencies, find an actor who's a working actor. Somebody who just makes his living doing TV shows, commercials, corporate videos, whatever, because you never know when that person may or may not become big.
Yeah.
The other thing is, he said, don't be afraid. Send your script, reach out to them. The worst thing they can say is no. A lot of the times he's found that if he can find a working actor who really gets behind the project, who really likes your concept, they may or may not be willing to work closer and closer to scale.
Yeah.
Which is much more affordable.
Yeah.
Than would typically be.
Which is like $250 a day.
Yeah.
Or so. Yeah. About $250 a day.
Yep. He says, now, if you do actually get a name actor, a big name that you're paying for, shoot them out as quickly as possible. Get them in, get them out. Limit them to 1 day and 3 scenes. Do not waste them with 1 scene.
Yeah.
Get them into 3 scenes that take place throughout the movie so that they're not just like, oh, they showed up for 1 day. It's not clearly obvious to your audience.
A friend of ours got Ernie Hudson in his movie. And he made the deal. If I can shoot you out, get you done in 3 days.
Yeah, Ernie Hudson was on the East Coast for
two different conventions.
2 different conventions, and he had 5 days in between the 2. He had the Monday through Friday between the weekends.
Yeah. So he got him in for 2 or 3 days for a flat rate for those couple of days, and shot all his stuff right then and there. Now his scenes are peppered throughout the movie, so it's not all one big scene.
Yep.
He's got a couple of scenes, so honestly, it looks like he was there for the production of the film. Right. He's got a scene in the beginning, scenes near the end. He's peppered throughout, and he made the most of his character. That's how you do it.
Yep.
You basically have to rearrange your entire schedule to go around them, because really they're the most expensive thing. You don't want to bring them in and have them done in 3 hours, and when they're willing to do a 8 or 10 hour day, why knock them out in 3 hours? Add film extra scenes, write something new for them to do.
Yeah.
Especially because the fact that these people have done so many films, they can ad lib very well.
Yeah.
You give them a scene, say, here, we just wrote this last night, we're going to do this scene, and they can probably improv their way through the scene. They don't even have to have it memorized. They've done so much, they could just pull from something they did 20 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Other bit of really good advice: do not negotiate with actors yourself. Get a casting agent or an experienced producer to do the negotiations for you. they can get you actors at a fraction of the price that you can.
Yeah, because they know what they should be getting paid and what they shouldn't be getting paid. They know what their market value is worth. So an agent's job and the actor's agent's job is to get their client paid as much as possible.
Yeah.
Your casting agent does not see this actor as making or breaking your movie. You, as the filmmaker, do. Because you feel like, oh my God, I got this person. There's no way I'm going to get...
And the last thing you want to do is lose your dream actor over a couple $100, you know?
Exactly. So they can negotiate them down or say, you know what, they're not going to budge. Let's find somebody else.
Yeah.
They know how to do that.
And
they could say to the agent,
professional opinion to add on to this.
Exactly.
Like, what value are they actually bringing?
Yeah, they're not valuing the movie in the artistic medium that you are. I mean, they are because they love doing this, but they're not looking at it as the passion project that you are. Yeah. They're looking at this is still business, and they know how to make that separation. Yeah.
One thing he actually said, which was very interesting to me, when you bring a sales agent onto your film, you know,
this is before when you're first starting the film.
When you're first starting, if you can bring a sales agent on to the very beginning of your film before you even shoot anything, that sales agent can take a look at all of your cast and your crew and the concept behind everything, and actually has a formula where he can calculate the value of your movie. I'm sorry, I said he or she. I'm trying to improve on this. He or she can actually come up with a value, a budget of what your movie would be worth, what they think you could get back.
To the marketplace.
Back to, value to your marketplace, what you could actually get back. Which is really amazing information. And that's how you make those educated decisions, you know, where you can talk to a casting agent and your lawyer, and you can really see the difference of the numbers that a cast member may or may not make. So that was a really interesting little tidbit that he shared with us. Moving right along, if you're writing the script yourself,
which is generally the case in this,
for first timers, do not shoot your first
draft.
Don't do it. Put your script onto the Blacklist or another script service to get an opinion and notes on your script. Keep rewriting. He says he finds it best to do at least 6 drafts. I found that a little much.
That's a little, I've made.
But when you're playing with $400,000,
that's true, But I've made this argument in the past too, where Jordan Peele worked on Get Out. He worked on that script for 6 years, but John Hughes would write a script and they'd be in production a month later. I mean, he wrote The Breakfast Club in like 3 days. And they started shooting literally less than a month after he finished the first draft.
And then he literally was writing scenes in the middle of the night and bringing it to set. So.
Yeah, seriously. You know, I mean, he did, the first one was, it doesn't matter. Move on. Doesn't matter. Story for another time.
But, you know, I agree. You know, I mean, I don't think you should shoot your first draft.
No.
Definitely have somebody take a look at it, even if you can't afford a script service. Have your friend who's an English major. We all have at least one friend who's a freaking English major.
Yeah.
You know?
Or thinks they're an English major.
Or studied English for a while.
How about a friend of yours that just reads a lot?
Just reads a lot,
Reads a lot.
Yeah.
Just like they pound through 2, 3, 4 books a week. Yeah. Just somebody who reads a lot, who's used to the flow of a story, who can look at this and say, this isn't, it feels like it's missing something, and figure out what it's missing. You know, another way to do it too is a lot of people are, you know, you're using your friends as actors. You know, a lot of the time you are. You know, I want to talk to the smaller budgets too. I don't want to just keep talking to all just the high budget people, but the small budget people, you're using your friends as actors. One good thing is, okay, you got your whole film cast. All right, you know your best friend's going to play this, her sister's going to play this one. You're this one. You know, you got the 5 or 6 cast members down already. Take your script. Get together with those actors and whoever's going to be your camera guy and whoever's working as your producer and your AD. Get your entire cast and crew together. And do a round table reading. You do a table read is what it's called. And you have the actors just read through the script in their roles on a table and open it up and say, hey,
what line isn't working for you?
Forget line, not even just line. In general, what of the script
of the
is
arc
not working
for your character.
Yeah. What do you guys have any improvements?
That's the beauty of an actor. An actor is going to look, they're going to read the script for the general arc of where the story's going. But they're going to pay special attention to their one particular character and the arc for their character. So if you can work, we all try, and we say that you definitely should read your script from every perspective.
Mm-hmm. No better way to do that than to have
the specialist who's going to know this character in and out.
Yeah.
To do it for you or with you. But you should definitely do it yourself, because if that actor starts asking you questions and you don't have answers, you're in trouble.
Yeah. We did that for Blood Slaughter.
We
took our 3 main actors and sat down for about 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
And we all took notes. We made script adjustments right then and there.
Yep.
All right, this is what I like that. I didn't like this. I didn't think of this. I didn't think of that. Let's go in that direction instead, because even if they're inexperienced actors, they still have an opinion.
They still
on
have
what
a perspective on the character that they're playing, and they're actually trying to put themselves in this character's shoes.
Yeah, and you also want to be sure that they're seeing the character from the same perspective you want them to see too.
Yes.
That's the other part of it. It's not just
it gets you all on the same
wrong.
page.
Yeah, are they wrong? Are they seeing the character as just temporarily down on his luck? Or has this character had years of bad decisions in his life, and he's not just like upset currently? Has this affected his opinion of the world?
Yeah, and I think
a constantly morose character.
Yeah, and I think in that Blood Slaughter table read, we really developed a relationship between our 2 lead cops. They kind of weren't clear from the script. It wasn't really in the script how they felt about each other.
Yeah.
So we were able to make some minor adjustments, but they were able to actually build that relationship and come to an understanding of how they view each other and kind of where they are in each other's lives. Are they the best friend cop partners? Are they, distant partners? Are they on 2 different, sides of it? Or, was one at the end of his career, one at the beginning? These are all things that are really important for your actors to know and be able to bring to set with them.
Yeah, for a specific example of that, Fincher was the broken down cop. Yeah. After a decade of things not going his way, he's still a great cop. He's a great detective. He's very good at what he does. Yeah. But his years of alcoholism has just destroyed him. Yeah. And his partner has watched him deteriorate. So he knows how good of a cop he could be. He just sees the cop he is today. Yeah. And that was a big part of their dynamic of how Cobb responds to Fincher. Like, he's not just giving him crap over because he's his superior. It's a lot of the scenes are kind of Cobb trying to kick him in the ass and say,
wrangle him back in. Yeah,
not just looking down on him like the police chief is sick of his crap. Yeah, and he's the one who berates him and pushes him down. Like, you shouldn't even be part of this force. Yeah. But his partner, who's been his partner for years, is trying to kick him in the ass and say, hey man, look, I get you have problems, I understand, but you need to get yourself back up. And he kept continually. He was pushing him to motivate him. Yeah. To see what the problem was, and eventually he just went too far.
That's a delicate line, and a lot of the lines could have read as berating, but but having that dynamic between the two of them, it really helps unite them as a team.
Exactly. He could have Cobb could have read it as, I don't like this guy. I don't want him to be my partner. Yeah. And
I'm sick of his shit.
Yeah, and he could be rolling his eyes at everything he does, but the truth is he's trying to hold him up. Yeah. Because he doesn't want him to fall. Yeah,
because they had a defining night together that really cost them both. And by understanding that history and the weight of that event, really helped them understand how they were going to get along. Yeah. So,
moving on.
Table reads are great.
Yeah, so do a table read, get your characters and your actors into...
So these are just kind of some random notes that I took. Really great ideas for kind of getting the film made itself. So crowdfunding, he says his are not usually successful. But the benefit that he's found with crowdfunding is that they're really great advertising.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody will see it. If you push it hard enough, somebody will see it and somebody will contact you and give you money on the side. They may or may not do it publicly or as part of your campaign. But every time he's done a crowdfunding campaign, he has had somebody reach out to him and give him money on the side.
Now, I'm going to say, and we said this pretty sure we said this in our crowdfunding episode, which is almost a year ago at this point. Yeah. But put into your budget of your crowdfunding at least 10% of that budget. Like, say you're asking for $50,000, at least $5,000 of that is going to go to advertising your campaign. Yeah. Which means you need to have some of that money already in pocket. Yep. It sucks, but if you don't advertise, and I mean buy ads on Facebook, buy them on Twitter, buy them on Instagram, on Tumblr, wherever you can buy ads.
Pay those websites to run it.
Exactly. Contact the webmasters of websites that you believe have and just ask them if there is a fee that they're willing to take to run an article on your crowdfunding. Yep. Okay. And you give them the most detailed description, every little bit that you
Especially
possibly
if you have a name actor, or if you have an amazing location or amazing concept, if you got the rights from something.
And you pay that website to cover it, because you know what? It feels in this realm a lot, and I know a lot of guys who are like this, a lot of filmmakers, I say guys, girls, whatever. I know a lot of filmmakers that are like this, where they feel that it's selling out, and we're going to pay for ads. I'm not paying for ads. Bullshit. That's how you get it out there. Yep. There's no way.
You got to pay to play.
Yeah, you have to. You're talking about trying to get your film, your crowdfunding campaign in front of, and this is just for America. Let's say America, United States, in the U.S. alone. You're trying to get your film into in front of a good portion of 300 million people. Yeah. 300 million people. This is your possible audience.
Yeah, that's your possible pool of.
How do you even break into getting the attention of 300 million people who are staring at the news feeds from each of them? Anywhere from 200 to 5,000 people posting daily. Yep. How do you get your film?
How do you break into that?
Yeah. How do you get your film noticed amongst that slew of it? Just watch Twitter. Yeah. Open your Twitter account one day and just watch it. Refresh. Yep. And see how quickly this occurs, how fast information goes by. Your film needs to be seen amongst all of that. Yep. So by having a website that has 500,000 followers, cover it. They are one of those things they're one of those websites. They get 20, 30, 100 retweets for everything that they put up. You want your film to be one of those 100 retweets because every one of those retweets is getting in front of another 2,000 to 3,000 people.
And a lot of the times when something like that happens, when one of our friends, especially, I know I do it, one of our friends has a review or some sort of announcement that's attached to a larger website, I'm always happy to retweet and share that thing. Throw a little hashtag support indie film and toss it back out into the world.
Because beyond just supporting our friends and the people we know, it's also our page that is now linked to that website's page. It's us. It's getting
You're
our name.
You're seen as a supporter.
Exactly. Yeah, and the people who run the website
know that.
They see it.
Yep.
And I can't tell you how many, just film festivals. We share film festival stuff. Other film festivals then share our stuff because the truth is they want us to notice them. They want us to submit to them as well.
Yeah, they want our fees. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to realize that this is a
relationship goes both ways.
Oh, yes.
It's a two-way street for sure.
Absolutely. So
if you're not going to go the crowdfunding route, and this is really good for our listeners, another solution that he came up with, if you're making a film in a small town, say you're not in New York City, you're not in LA, you're making this in Indiana or Kentucky, Louisiana. Anyway,
Battleboro,
Vermont. Reach out to your local press. Reach out to your local newspaper. Get your local community involved. the community will get behind you.
Mm-hmm.
If you reach out to your community and you're doing something special, there's a good chance that there's at least one person in your community who will reach out and support you as well.
Oh yeah. You're making a movie. That's something that people don't get to see every day. Yeah. People want to be part of it because that's cool. It's just cool.
It's cool.
It's not
good
that
for you.
It's not that they want to be famous. That's just really cool. I know somebody who made a movie. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it happens
awesome.
all the time. You know, I'll have a conversation with somebody in an elevator and they'll just be like, so what do you do? And I'll just say, I make horror movies on the weekend. Really?
Yeah.
People just think it's cool. Like, that's what you do.
To meet someone who makes movies, it's a cool job. Like, if you met a magician.
Yeah.
Really? You're a magician? And then they could show you a trick right there?
Forget it.
Oh, my God. You're the coolest person they met. And you're the coolest person they met
made
all
their
month.
day. That was a completely interesting day.
You're a filmmaker. I made a movie. Yeah, it's on Amazon. You can pull it up. Oh, my God. You're the coolest person they met today.
Yeah.
You know, everybody wants, that's awesome. That's more than the mundane everything. No matter how important their job may be, there's always something that they look at as that's really cool.
Yeah.
And filmmaking is one of those things that some people say that's the coolest. You're the coolest person I've met.
Yeah. And getting those relationships, you know, they may not be able to give you money, but if the local, you know, somebody at the local bar owner says, oh, that's cool, you're making a movie, you know, reach out to him. He said, you know, think of having a fundraiser for your film. Get that back room, you know, have people, you know, cover charge goes to you. I've seen plenty of people do it, actually. A lot of people do fundraisers for their films.
Yeah.
Another option is to bring on sponsors. Like if there's a local local brewery or a local beer, you know, even if there's maple syrup.
Especially now, there's so many local brewers.
Yeah.
You know, people who are making their own.
And they see it as whoever sees your film is going to see their beer. So it's definitely two hands helping one another. So those are really great options. Now, interestingly enough, which I have never heard before, and you and I both were like, really?
Yeah. This
is big news, guys. Big food companies like Domino's, Papa John's, Subway, even, out here in New York, the Magnolia Bakery, they will donate food to feed your crew.
Yeah.
And literally, this is just...
Never heard of this.
Never heard of this.
Don't know anybody who's done it.
No,
but
blew our minds.
He said it, and two other people.
And two people in the audience actually said, yes. I've actually done a Google search where I said, you know, companies that will donate food to feed your crew.
Yeah.
And this is, I mean, if you have a 20-person and under crew, we're talking.
Yeah, we're not
talking a large professional crew.
people
No.
on your set. But.
No, but I mean, most of us are going to have 10 to 20 people. I mean, including cast and crew.
Papa John's will donate
Papa John's,
10
Subways.
pies.
They'll you know, a couple pies. That's nothing to them, especially because they're going to get special thanks and you're building community spirit, which is how they see it.
Yep.
The girl in the audience said she did a Google search and she literally found a form, and it took about 3 weeks to get to hear back from them, but she absolutely got Subway and Papa John's to donate food to feed her crew.
Yep. And
Mind blown.
Didn't pay a cent.
Didn't pay a cent.
They donated money. They donated food, feed the crew for the day, and everybody ate wonderful with breadsticks and pizza and wings and salads, and everybody had plenty of food for the day. I mean, we've bought food. We've bought platters from Subway. Had we known, would have applied to Subway. Hey, we're going to be shooting here in this area, and then
Subway, by the way, is a really, really great, easy company to work with catering wise. Even if they're not donating the food, it's super simple. It's like one form. You fill it out the day before. You know, you schedule a pickup for a certain time or the delivery for a pickup for a certain time, and you can get cookies and you can get salads and you can. And it's very easy to work with.
Platter. Yeah, it's a very nice platter with a bunch of different. I mean, I'm sure any of these big food companies, any of these big fast food places have the same type of thing because they cater all the time.
Get the catering menu. It's great. So moving on, my last couple of things, last couple of bits of advice are, this one made me laugh. If you have a great concept, if you really have this great idea, shut up.
Yes.
Shut up.
Shut up about it. Don't. There's so many people.
Yeah.
They're working on a script and they will post up. I'm working on a new script today. Facebook.
Yep.
3 months later, still working on that script.
Yeah.
6 months later, almost done with this script.
Yeah.
Jesus. At that point, not only are you annoying people, they're seeing you as, well, what are you doing? Yeah. Anybody can work on a script for a year and a half, but the truth is that's how it gets done. Yes, it takes you a year, you know, but that's not movie magic.
No.
That's not interesting to people. Nobody wants to see that people. Yeah, you get people who will support you and yeah. Oh man, that's great, awesome, good for you.
Yeah.
But shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up about it. Number one, you're annoying people by doing that, and number two,
you're literally, if you're talking about your concept and you're sharing that concept around, guess what? They may not even mean it. Like people generally don't go out to steal others' ideas. But if you hear a great concept, your brain holds on to that, and then it'll rattle around.
10 years from now.
10 years from now, it'll pop out of somebody's brain.
They may do it 100 times better than you.
And and you never know. I mean, it's not a malicious thing. I mean, we are artists who are all, actively creating. So it's like sometimes that idea gets stuck in your head, and you're just like, that's a great idea. Yeah. And then and then your brain just kind of morphs it into something else, but it's so similar, and that person can really feel like you did it on purpose, and you.
Don't talk about it until you're ready to make it.
Put together a package, get your package together, get your script made, get your cast and your crew figured out, get that all put together, and then start talking about it.
What I think you need to do is you need to prove that this is your concept. Yeah. You've done it. You're ready. You've written it. You're ready to do it, and they can't do it better than you.
Yep.
And that's what gets people to other writers.
Yeah, when the script is done, people are usually very respectful. When a movie's done, I'm not looking at my buddy's movie thinking like I could build on this. No, it's already done. It's done.
That's it. Yeah, they did it, and they did it better than you did because they had the full concept. Yeah. Somebody who just says, "Hey, I had an idea for this movie. What do you guys think?" 6-7 years from now, you may not have made that movie, but they may be making another movie. Yeah. And they take that little concept that you're still rattling around in your brain, and they do things with it that are like, oh my God. Yep. And then you feel like they stole your idea, or they did it better than you, and you never got a chance. You don't want to give anybody I mean, this is kind of a negative thing to talk about. I
don't think it is.
To say like somebody may take your idea, but that's something you need to safeguard yourself from.
Yeah,
it's honest. Yeah,
it's honest, and I don't think people do it on purpose.
No,
they really don't.
No,
and I
just
want to keep saying that, but it's it's like literally how many times have we been at a film festival already this year where it's like you see a short film and you're like, oh my God, I just had this great idea. And it's like, I'm not taking that short film, but literally that short film like kickstarted something in my brain, and my brain was like, hey, what if we did this? Yeah. And it's like, oh, okay. And it's like, because we're artists, we can't control where our brain and our motivations and our idea, spews
so you don't want to give somebody the idea before you even finish it. At least yours is done. Yeah. If they have another idea off of it, like they take that out of a 90-minute movie, one sentence, one line from a character just sparked something because they had 4 other ideas that they couldn't figure out how to connect them, and that one sentence did it. Now they get their whole thing, but you don't want them doing that before you get yours done.
I mean, how often have we read a friend's script and we're like, oh, this is really great. You know what we could, and you're like, I'm not going to do it though because this guy's doing it. You're absolutely right. Back off. Yeah.
And again, you keep having talking and talking and talking. A film takes years to get done.
It does.
By the time you get it done, if you've been talking about it the whole time, people are tired of hearing about it. Yeah. Your friends.
Yeah, you're going to get... Not your even great people. Concept could literally get people so excited, and then when you take 6 to 8 months to deliver a finished script that's polished...
alone.
Yeah.
You're going to shoot it for the next...
People are like already over it.
Exactly. And
you want to have that excitement, that first response to your concept... when you're done, when you're already, when you're raising funds, when you're
talking about making your friends sick of it. The people who are your core supporters, people who are gonna help you get in front of others. Yeah. They're already sick of hearing about it. Yep. And it's like, you know what? I've been hearing about this for 3 years, dude. You're never going to get this done. No. I'm tired of it. You get a new idea now? Oh, great. Now we'll hear about this for the next 3 years. The last one hasn't even been done yet. Yeah. You don't want to do that. You don't want to get people around you tired of hearing about you talking about things because this takes time. It really does.
It does.
We started shooting Theta in December of 2014.
Yeah, it's 2017. We're just finishing our festival run.
Exactly. So you don't want to start talking to them. We started shooting in 2014.
Yeah.
You know, I was writing it 9 months before I started.
Yeah. Yep.
9 months before that I was writing it.
So if you were like, I have this really great idea, we would have been listening to it for, how many years?
Yeah,
now?
I think I posted starting a new script, and that was it.
That was it.
And I didn't mention a single word about it for the next 6 months until we were casting.
You do have to appear like you're interesting. So, take a picture of a page that has actually nothing interesting written on it. Maybe it's just like an exchange between two characters.
I
like
posted the
had
title
a rough day at
page.
work. Title pages are just
That's
fine
it.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But literally,
it's also
to show
because
that you're being active, because people then are interested in what you're doing because you're being active.
Yeah, but the reason I did that too, though, is not just to stay active, is because I am active.
Yeah.
We had other films that we were promoting on top of that.
Yeah.
So this was like, oh wow, they just did this
throwing
festival,
chum
they
in the
just did
water.
that festival, and they're already working on the next
throwing
one.
chum in the water.
Exactly. It's just another thing. Like, oh, they have another one.
Yeah.
They're working on another movie. Oh, this is cool. We just saw this from them. That was really good. They do have another one in the work. Great. It's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's just something to look forward to.
Yeah.
So people can see that idea fester over time. But if this is your first or second, like any movie, short film, whatever it's you're just starting out, continuously talking about it just gets people tired.
Yeah.
You know,
and
because you
here's-
have no track record to prove that I've gotten things done before.
And here's another really great point that he brought up. Your investors, people who are going to give you money, let's not even call them investors because that sounds big and scary and a lot bigger than a first time or second time filmmaker is going to be dealing with. The people who are going to put money into your project, people who are going to give you money, they are not going to read your script.
No.
They are not reading your script. It's all about your pitch. It's about your concept, and it's about your package.
Yeah.
What's it going to look like if you reference photos, if you have something that you can visually show them, that's what's going to sell them. And that's what's going to get you their money.
Because people aren't watching a movie after reading the script. They're watching a movie after watching the trailer.
Exactly.
Which is essentially your pitch package done video.
Yep.
You've already shot it. You're going to do a trailer.
Yep.
So you're giving them a trailer of your script now.
Yep.
That's what they don't want to read the script. No, they don't have time to read 90 pages.
No, so if you're wandering around telling everybody your concept and telling them this, and you're doing your pitch and you're doing it, and you don't have a script yet, then when it comes to actually time to actually raise the money for the script that's now done, people are not going to be wowed as much because you've already given it away.
They've been hearing it from you for the last 6 months.
You've given everything away.
Yeah. And they've already formed an opinion on it. And you don't want them to do that.
Yep.
You don't want them to do that. You don't want them to form an opinion until it's all done and you now need money.
Exactly.
Oh, great. That's a great concept. Yeah. And they write that check immediately.
That's a great idea. I love this.
Yeah, they write that check and sign that contract immediately. And before they can get disillusioned to buy it, they've already given you the money.
Yep. Yep.
It's still a bit of a
now they have actually interest in hearing about what you're doing because now you have their money and now they want to know what you're doing. So yeah, that's some of the really great points that we got in this panel. Again, I'm just going to repeat from the beginning. It is all about having the right concept in the right genre with the right producer, the right actor in the right role, shot on a tight budget.
Yep.
With a limited crew.
Okay.
That is the key to...
And a lot of these things we've covered as well. Your limited crew and your limited budget. We've covered these things in the past as well. So it was kind of nice to sit in a panel and say, okay, well, we're on the right track. We are doing things. Again, like I said, there's not the right or wrong way. But we have the right idea.
Yeah.
We're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
We're seeing things the right way. It was very, very reassuring to see this person who is successful and is doing this. We're kind of going down the same path.
Yeah, we have the right mindset about things.
Yeah, there you go. It's the right mindset. We're in the right mindset. That's what I was trying to say. There you go.
So yeah, we just we thought it was a really great panel. It felt very validating and self-confirming for us, and we just wanted to pass along that to you guys.
Yeah. So. I think we're done.
Yeah,
we're gonna cut this one off before we ramble way too much because we already do that. So that's it for Filmmaking Sucks for this week. Go on over to your podcasting app of some sort. If you haven't subscribed to us already, please do subscribe to us on iTunes and Stitcher and Google Play Music and whatever. wherever you're hearing this right now, if it's not off the website, which I doubt you're listening to it off the website. Why? Who does that anymore?
I don't know.
Who goes to websites and downloads podcasts?
Weirdos.
Yeah. So wherever you're getting this from, please subscribe. Please go back to that. Hit that 5-star rating. Give us a rating. If you want to write us a review, that would be amazing as well. We'd love to hear that. Any type of review, or especially a 5-star rating, gets us up in the rankings so people can find us a little easier. Goes a whole.
Oh, I just came up with a really fun hashtag.
Oh no!
For this episode, you ready for this?
Oh no!
Hashtag the right stuff.
The right stuff. Oh God! So are you referencing New Kids or the astronauts?
Both.
Sure.
If the new kids could wear astronaut outfits.
No.
That's essentially what that hashtag is about.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I think that's the right concept.
No. Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed this and got something out of this. We will hopefully talk to you again next week. Hopefully you'll be here, and so will we.
Yep.
So that's it.
Those are the two important components of this relationship. You and us.
Yes. Hashtag the right stuff.
Hashtag the right stuff.
Get out there, everybody, and make good films.
Good luck and good night.
No.
I think that's the right